Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing the tea review for the month of June. It's a little bit late, I know, but life happens. So we did Tea Runners, Tea Sparrow and Tea Surprise. That was the boxes we did in June. And we cancelled Tea Surprise now. Tea Surprise is no more, which is a good thing because June's box was terribly disappointing. And we will be doing Tealish coming up in July. So as always, I have my little table over here so we can go through the teas. So we'll start with the worst because they were really bad this month. So it was Tea Surprise. We got Maple Black, Hojicha, Cranberry, a flowering tea, and what was the other one? Everlasting. So Hojicha, I just don't like roasted green tea. It's my second time trying it, and I don't have the taste for it. It smells like tea with seaweed. It tastes like seaweed. It's just not something I enjoy drinking. I'm sure there might be other people that can taste something else in it, but that's all that my palate gets. So didn't like that. So of course that got a 1 star. The Maple Black was a pretty disappointing. I'm not a huge black tea fan. I do drink black tea, but it's not my favorite tea to drink. And I've drunk a lot of black tea. There was a black tea and Tea Sparrow as well. This black tea was just not nice. I don't know what they did with it, or if it was some weird blend that they put in there, but whatever it was kind of bitter. It wasn't a very smooth black tea. I just didn't enjoy it. The Everlasting was kind of weird. Also not something I enjoyed drinking. The Cranberry was okay. You know, it kind of tasted like those generic teas you can buy at the grocery store. You know, they come out with a couple of various flavors. You buy them for the novelty of it. It tastes okay, but it's not something you're going to go back and buy again. So that's kind of what I got from the Cranberry. The only thing that was even worthwhile was the little flowering tea that was in the box. That was pretty. It bloomed beautifully. It was a nice jasmine tea. Overall, can't complain about it. It was the nicest tea in the box, really. And then we also got that tiny little green plastic dollar store spoon that really wasn't worth anybody's time. So that was pretty much Tea Surprise. It kind of finished on a very rough note, I will say that. So not going forward with that anymore. We'll be doing Tealish. The box arrived, so we'll be reviewing that in the next week or so. So we'll see how that goes. Tea Sparrow was not bad, not good. Yeah, they kind of had a lot of middle of the road kind of things. To recap, it was bourbon vanilla bean, walnut green tea, single state Assam, and then the pink grapefruit. The bourbon vanilla bean, very nice tea. The single state Assam, very nice plain black tea. Can't say anything negative about it. I mean, is it the greatest tea on the planet? No, but it was a pretty decent black tea. The maple green tea I tried cold brewed, and it was pretty nice. Not my favorite iced tea, but it was a decent iced tea. I drank it iced, and it was pretty nice. The only thing that disappointed me out of the Tea Sparrow box was the pink grapefruit. I really expected from the scent a very heavy citrus punch, and it kind of fell flat. It was very disappointing. I mean, I'm sure it's a nice tea, but I had high expectations and it just kind of went eh. So was disappointing. And then of course we had Tea Runners. Tea Runners was a bunch of interesting and weird teas. There was the Fireside Nightcap, which in their own writing on the package stated it was a nice fall tea, and I was like, well, it's kind of summer. I don't know how that's useful in a summer box. There was mango raspberry rooibos, there was cinnamon plum, and then there was Yogi's tonic. The Fireside Nightcap, don't get me wrong, was a very nice tea. Just not something you would expect to be drinking in the middle of summer. It is a heavier sort of spiced tea. We had a few coolish days, so I drank it then, and I can't say anything bad about it other than it's not a summer tea. The mango raspberry rooibos I had iced, very nice. And then the Yogi's tonic. I'm not a big fan of licorice, and it's got the licorice flavor from the anise. And at first it put me off completely because that licorice smell is very potent as well as the taste. But after you get past the initial licorice, hit, it mellowed out nicely, and it was actually pleasant to drink towards the end. But the initial licorice just threw me off because I don't like licorice. And then cinnamon plum was a huge surprise. They said to have it iced, and I did, and it was an absolute delightful tea to drink. My favorite by far out of all the teas I drank this month, and it got the highest star rating, and that is why Tea Runners won this round, because of the cinnamon plum. It was such a good tea. I'll definitely be buying more. It was a very nice iced tea. I really enjoyed it. It was very fruity, very mulled wine, but in an iced sort of sense. So more like a sangria, I would say, but not as potent as a sangria. Very, very mellow. Very the cinnamon doesn't overwhelm anything. It sort of takes a far back seat. You get really the fruity plum sort of flavor. It was a really well balanced tea, and I really enjoyed it. So that was the tea that won, and because most of Tea Runners was a pretty good offering, and flavor wise, the box won this month's tea. Coming up, we've got a couple of tea hauls coming. There was the Canada Day sale for David's Tea. There was a Canada Day sale for Tea Runners. So I got a bunch of interesting things there, so stay tuned for that video. We've got, of course, Tea Runners, Tea Sparrow, and Tea Lish coming this month, as well as Ipsy Top Box, as always. And then, of course, the tea review at the end. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a little closer to the beginning of August, so that it's not in the middle of the next month by the time I'm reviewing everything. It just takes a long time to sometimes drink all the teas and try all the teas, and sometimes I want to drink them twice just to get a good sense of, do I like it? Maybe the one time was just a bad brewing of it. So I like giving everything an equal chance, just to give it a good review. So sometimes drinking all those teas does take a lot out of a person because a person sometimes doesn't feel like drinking a tea every day. So I apologize for the late tea review video. It's just been a rough month getting through all the teas. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.